it is Coach Ray, your healthy lifestyle coach, and I'm back with you again today with another one of Ray's Faves. That's right, I am back. You see, I'm in the kitchen because I have a newfound favorite in the kitchen. All right, look, I know that I'm a little tardy to this kale chips party, right? I know that kale chips have been out for a minute. People have been making kale chips for a minute, but I never tried it because it's kale chips. So I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know how that's going to taste. And I was a little bit afraid, honestly, of what the taste was going to be, but it was amazing. Let me tell you that. Listen, me and my daughter, we were in the kitchen and I said, I want to try something different, babe. I want to do something different. So we were going to have grilled chicken wraps. So I had purchased some kale and I said, I'm going to make some kale chips today. So I got our handy dandy hot air fryer. You see it right there? Yep, it's stationed right there on top of the fridge. So I pulled it down and I said, okay, let me find a recipe and figure out how in the world to make these kale chips and how to make them in a hot air fryer. Got a recipe, put it together, guys. We tried it. We took it out of that first batch out of the hot air fryer and it was amazing. Both my daughter and I looked at each other in complete and total amazement. Eyes big saying, oh my gosh, this is amazing. They were so good. My daughter said, you got to tell the world, blog it, video it, tell the world that kale chips are the move. Listen, you guys, it tasted like potato chips. It was so crazy. And my first batch was amazing. The first batch ever in life that I made was amazing. Now, the second batch, I think I left it in too long because that batch was a little burnt. The third batch had a mix of burnt and underdone. And so I think that it was like a 5-minute process that it was in the hot air fryer for. Keep checking it if you follow this recipe, keep checking it to make sure that, just to see how they're progressing, how they're coming along. What I found personally, and I'm still tweaking it, but what I found personally is that when they're a little brown, they're great and they're crunchy. You want to try them when they're crispy. So just kind of test them as you go along. If they're still really, really green or kind of limp, that's going to be that that's going to mean that they're not quite done yet. You want them to the point where they're crispy. They crunch. They have an amazing crunch, just like potato chips. They don't taste like kale. They taste like potato chips when you cook them right. So that's your gauge, you guys. That's the gauge that you go by to see that they are crunchy, not too green, definitely not too brown, but they have a taste and a consistency actually of potato chips. And it's so crazy. So I just put salt on them, sea salt. But as I talk about, I'm going to show you in the video the recipe and the way that I made it. But you can add any kind. My daughter and I were just saying, you can really get creative and do any kind of flavor, taste, sensation that you want to try. So if you want to try garlic, if you want to try Old Bay, if you want to try barbecue, if you want to try cheddar cheese, whatever you want to try. You like stinky chips, you like sweet chips, put a little caramel on them. I don't know, just get crazy and experiment with it. But whatever you do, however you make it, just try it because you are going to be amazed too. So guys, here's the video.
So you want to make sure you rinse off the kale. Just make sure you don't have any dirt or impurities in it. Then cut the stems off. And then separate the leaves from the stalks, and then break the stalks and the leaves into bite-sized pieces like chips. This was the amount that I wanted to use, so the rest I just kind of moved that out of the way to begin to prep the kale, prep my area so that I could go ahead and coat the leaves in oil. You just want to put enough oil on there to just be able to massage it into the kale and to make sure you've got full coverage so that when you put your seasoning on, that it'll have a nice stick to it. Just make sure you just get it all the way through all the leaves. Then you can really choose whatever seasoning you want. I just chose to use pink Himalayan salt because this was my first time making them. I wasn't sure what it was going to taste like. But you can kind of get creative and whatever your preferences are. If you like stinky chips, you can add garlic. If you like seafood chips, you can add some Old Bay. You can add some French onion powder, or however you want to get creative. You can kind of do whatever you want to do, your barbecue seasoning, whatever, to make it taste the way you want. So then I just put a layer, enough for one layer, down on the bottom to cover the bottom of the hot air fryer basket. So you don't want to stack it too high, just have one layer of coverage to make sure it cooks all the way through. Then set your timer at about 5 minutes and your temperature at about 375 degrees or so. You want to make sure that you're checking throughout that 5-minute period, because you want the leaves to be a little brown, not be too green. When they're too brown, when they're all too brown, they're burnt. When they're too green, they are not done. They were delicious, let me tell you. Just served it with a grilled chicken wrap with kale chips on the side, and it was yummy.
All right, so there you have it, guys. That was the process that I used. I'll put a link to this hot air fryer down in my stories below. Hey guys, listen up. If you like this video, I'm going to be coming back with much more content for you. Some of my favorite things. They could be appliances or kitchen tools. They're going to be workout videos. They're going to be health tips. There's going to be tips on all kinds of stuff. So make sure that you come back. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel and click the bell below so that you can make sure that you get notified when I post a new video. Okay? Thanks you guys so much for checking out my channel and for listening in for Ray's Faves today. You guys have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you next time.